Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, in this video, let's talk about some of that low-key bluish lighting that I have been wanting to see in this new Halloween 2018 film. What I have done is I have taken some images, some screen captures from that first trailer, the Michael Myers-centric one, and I have taken those images and I have played around with those images in Photoshop and in some of my video editing software to try to mimic some of the lighting that I would have preferred to see. Now, you have to keep in mind, this is, generally what I'm talking about. I don't have the raw footage, okay? So I am color correcting an image that's already been color corrected. Okay, so I don't have the raw footage. It's not like I'm in, the editing room and they've walked in with the dailies and I'm able to take that raw image that's just come from the camera so you have to keep that in mind, okay? So I've done the best I can with the screen captures, all right? Just to kind of give you that idea of what I would have preferred to see that is very, reminiscent and capturing that spirit of that lighting, that low-key lighting, that bluish lighting. Low-key lighting is so important when you want to create mood and atmosphere, okay? It's that balance between, the shadows and the darkness and how you execute those shadows. High-key lighting is much more vibrant and bright. Daytime is high-key lighting. But Michael Myers, because he was the shape, because he was the boogeyman, and because this is a sequel to that original movie, I was really hoping to see, and it's not that we're not going to see it. Maybe we will. Maybe they're leaving that for the movie. I'm not saying we're not going to see it. And I saw pieces of it in the trailers, little tidbits of it in both of these two new Halloween 2018 trailers. But I was looking for that blue light, which obviously it doesn't appear that we're going to get. You certainly can achieve low-key lighting and other color temperatures, but it's so important to have that bluish light, that blue light that was so prominent in John Carpenter's Halloween. And there are very specific reasons for that, which I will mention in just a couple of seconds. But first, I am going to throw 3 images up on the screen, the first of which I have on the screen already, from John Carpenter's 1978 film. And I want you to pay close attention to the overall feeling you get when you look at these 3 images. I want you to pay close attention to the color temperature. I want you to pay close attention to the low-key lighting in terms of the light and shadow. The first image on the screen, of course, is just a couple of moments after he punches his fist through the door, and Michael Myers is chasing Laurie Strode through the Wallace's kitchen. And this isn't, all that bluish, really. There are other moments in the movie where it's utilized more, but it certainly has a very coolness to it. There's a coldness to the lighting of this particular scene, which I absolutely love. You see some of the light, shining off of the knife blade. You see some of the shadows across the refrigerator in the background, certainly on the countertop to Michael's right, but his mask is in complete darkness with just a little tinge of that whiteness showing through. Just awesome shit. And there's a coldness about this entire shot. Now, let's go to the next image here, which is just a couple of seconds before Michael Myers impales Bob onto the wall with that incredibly strong kitchen knife. Holds up like a 180-pound man. But anyway, look at this image. Not just the camera angle is great because we're at a lower angle, which makes Michael Myers, gives that foreboding dominance, that presence that we want in the boogeyman, right? But look at the low-key lighting, the bluish, the mood and atmosphere that is created with the light and shadow in this image is absolutely fantastic. You have that bluish light on the right side of Michael's face, just lighting him up ever so slightly. You have the knife, that knife blade, that sheen from the knife blade glistening in the light. But this whole image, this image here has a very coolness to it, a very coldness to it. Even on the doorway behind Michael on the right-hand side over here, you can see that there's this coolness, there's this coldness to this entire image. And what do people say about people who are void of emotion? People who lack empathy, people who lack sympathy, people who are not showing any sort of emotion whatsoever. What do we say about those people? They are what? They are cold. They are chilly. There's something so cold about that person. Hey, dude, why do you gotta be so cold, man? Why do you gotta be so cold, right? Michael Myers, the shape, the boogeyman, if you will, is the absence absence of character, the absence of motive, the absence of rhyme or reason. There is no rhyme or reason for doing what he's doing. He is the epitome of evil. He is cold and calculated. And when you light the scenes like this, the nighttime scenes that he's in, when we're at close proximity to him, when you utilize that low-key lighting and that bluish light, coming from outside, which is no doubt probably supposed to be moonlight, but when you utilize that bluish, a little bit of white light there as well, it gives that coldness to his character, which we want. We want that chilliness. He is the absence of any sort of emotion. And from a psychological, subconscious level, that is being translated to the viewer when you're watching this movie. You may not realize it consciously, but that absolutely is being translated from a filmmaking perspective, from an artistic perspective. And it's just brilliant. I love it. Now, when we go to the third and final image here, there are many images I could have chosen, but I just chose 3 because, these will do the trick. We have Bob impaled onto the wall by the butcher knife. I love how the knife, has its own sort of light, and Nick Castle as Michael Myers doing the famous head tilt, admiring his work. But again, look at the overall feeling that you're getting with the lighting. The light and shadow and the contrast is fantastic. There's that coldness. Look at the light on the oven and on the cupboard behind Michael Myers, just slightly to his left, your right. I mean, there's that coldness to everything, right? It's chilly. There's nothing really warm or inviting about this scene at all. You could take Bob off the door and you could remove Michael Myers from the frame as well. Take Michael Myers and Bob out of this image. Pretend you're just looking at the back door. There's nothing really inviting about the image still, right? There's nothing, cozy about it. There's nothing inviting about it, right? You remove Michael and Bob and the lighting still conveys chilliness, coldness, right? There's something there. There's something lurking in the shadows not too far behind. And that's why it's so important to utilize that blue, crisp, coldness light when we're talking about the character of Michael Myers and the shape. He is bringing that coldness to you. He is like the wind, that chilliness that comes through. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the image you currently see on your screen, I'm going to duplicate it, okay? Put one right on top of the other, move it over to the left side of your screen, okay? Then on the right side of your screen, at the very top right, I'm going to take an unaltered, untouched screen capture from the current Halloween 2018 trailer. I haven't done anything to it. I've just taken it right from the trailer. And then below that, I'm going to show the exact same image, but with some tweaking to what I feel is more in line with what I wanted to see. Now, again, keep in mind, okay, that obviously, I don't have the raw footage, okay? I am color correcting an image that has already been color corrected in its own right. So there's only so much I can do without actually having the raw footage. But I think I've done a, decent enough job that you're going to get the idea, at least, of what I'm trying to convey. So let's do that now. Okay, so the image is up on the screen. Now I want to draw your attention to the top right, which is the screen capture, unaltered, untouched, from the Halloween 2018 trailer. Now, there's nothing wrong with it in and of itself. It's fine. It's well exposed, well lit, but it is very yellowy, very orangey, okay? Very warm, very inviting, and that could very well be the creative choice that David Gordon Green wanted to go with, and that's fine, okay? There's nothing wrong with that in and of itself. But with a little bit of tweaking, in the bottom right, which is the exact same image, I feel this is more in line with what you're seeing on the left. Now, keep in mind that the porch lights in the bottom image are also suddenly blue. I didn't take the time to go in and keep those yellow. If you were lighting this scene properly, you would obviously still have those porch lights yellow or some sort of off yellow. But I think you get the idea. If you didn't know that the top right image was a Halloween film, a horror movie, and I told you it was a Christmas movie or a teen comedy with a girl walking to her car, you'd have no reason not to believe it. But the bottom right image, in my opinion at the very least, feels more ominous, more cold, more chilly, more impending doom, more in line with what you're seeing on the right. Okay, let's go to the next image. The next image is this image right here. Top right, again, unaltered, untouched, screen capture from the Halloween 2018 trailer. The bottom image, I really played with some of the contrast and trying to match some low-key lighting and some bluish white with like, so the, it's moonlight sort of coming in through the window. Now, I don't know in the top right image, I don't know if that is moonlight coming in from the window or if that's just the light from the 3 lights that you see sort of on the left there that is casting Laurie Strode's shadow on the wall. But I went with the idea that it's moonlight. And when you look at the bottom right, this feels very cold, very ominous. The contrast, I've darkened everything so much. The contrast in terms of light and shadow, especially in the back corner there of the, I guess they're in the kitchen area or somewhere, is really pronounced. The mood and the atmosphere is really, really pronounced in the bottom image. Very much in line with what you're seeing on the left side of your screen. And that's what I was looking for. This is sort of in line with what I was looking for with Halloween 2018. Again, that doesn't mean the movie's not going to be good. I'm just saying that when we're talking about the shape and utilizing the shape, I feel the lighting is so much a part of his character that I wanted to see things like this. So, yeah, pretty cool in my opinion. And I think it conveys more of that coldness that we want when you look at the image on the left. Okay, let's move on to the next image. And the next image is this one right here. Again, the top right, nothing wrong with it in and of itself. It looks fine. But when you compare it to the bottom right, I feel the bottom right, again, is more in line with the character of Michael Myers and what we're seeing on the left. I really wanted to play to the shadows you see on the wall to Michael's right. He's in the basement, so I'm assuming that maybe that's moonlight that's coming in through the basement windows. Maybe it's the big floodlights that are coming in that Laurie has turned on. Obviously, they're in the middle of fucking nowhere. I feel the bottom right image conveys more of that claustrophobia, that shape, that ominous presence that we expect from Michael Myers when we're talking about a direct sequel to the 1978 original. Okay, on to the next image, and this image is a POV shot of Laurie Strode looking through that little window in her doorway right before Michael Myers' arm comes smashing through and grabbing her towards the end of the trailer. And the bottom right is the same image, but just tweaked again. I feel the bottom image conveys more of that moodiness, that foreboding, ominous coldness that is lurking outside of her house, and it's more in line with what you're seeing on the left side of your screen. All right, and on to the next image. So here we have Laurie Strode leaning against the door, waiting for Michael Myers towards the, or at the very end of the new trailer, which was a great scene, by the way. Really liked it. Really liked how it was cut and put together. So again, the top right is just the screen capture. That's what you get in the trailer, and there's nothing wrong with it. Looks fine. And the bottom right is what I have tweaked. Now, I might have tweaked it just a little too much. I think I've taken the color out of her face, which I guess could work if she's, she's scared shitless, right? But anyway, I think you get the idea of what I'm going for. The bottom right is more in line with what you're seeing on the left, and I get more of a sense, I don't know if you guys do, but looking at that bottom right, I feel more for her. I feel more scared for her, okay? I feel more claustrophobic, okay? I feel like there's this ominous, impending doom that is coming down on top of her, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what's gonna happen, right? Because of the coldness, because of the chilliness that is conveyed through the color temperature of that image. And that's how I feel with it anyway. Okay, on to the next image is this image right here, Sarah Connor herself. So again, top image unaltered, top right unaltered, bottom right altered a bit, and this is sort of what I was looking for. I was going for that darkness again, that ominous presence. I keep repeating myself here, but it's more in line with what we're seeing on the left side of the screen. It's more claustrophobic. She's in this house in the middle of fucking nowhere by herself, and it's dark, and she's got this flashlight on her gun. It's like, what the fuck is gonna go down, right? I love how the bluish light sort of falls onto the blinds behind her in the bottom right image. So I just think it's more foreboding. It's more in line with, the character of Michael Myers that has now ascended onto this fucking house in the middle of nowhere. And it's just because again, the light is he's the shape. He's part of the atmosphere. He is the atmosphere. And I just think that it's so cool to be able to achieve that and play to the character's strengths. Okay, on to the next image, the second last image is this one right here. Yes, Michael Myers coming through the door. I really enjoyed this. I really like this. But again, I thought maybe, you know, with a bit of tweaking, we could get it a little more ominous and foreboding. So again, the top right is what you get in the trailer, and the bottom right is my alteration just a little bit. And I try to get it more in line with sort of the visual aesthetic of what we're seeing on the left. So yeah, pretty cool stuff, I think. Okay, and last but certainly not least, I think is the best one I was able to do, the best example of this, and here it is right here. Okay, now as you can see, the top right is from the Halloween 2018 trailer, unaltered, untouched. The bottom right, I think, conveys more of the character of Michael Myers when we're basing it on the original from 1978, which again, this is a direct sequel to. It is more in line with the visual aesthetic of what you're seeing on the left side of your screen. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the top right. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great shot. It worked for me. When I saw it in the trailer, I was like, oh, that's awesome. But the more I watched the trailer, again, these were the things that I was looking for in all of these trailers that unfortunately I did not see. If I was directing the movie Halloween 2018, the bottom right would be more of what you would get from me when we are talking about executing the character of Michael Myers. Because again, he is those dark clouds that roll in. He is the storm that comes, and the lighting is part of who he is. The coldness is part of who he is. He is the absence of character, the absence of motive. He is void of emotion. And the bottom right, for me, best conveys that, especially when we're talking about the 1978 original. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. I would love to know. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. McRae is MCRAE. Facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. That's where you can follow me in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here, because that's where I tend to post. As well, if you want to help support the channel each and every month via Patreon and get in on some Patreon goodies, as I like to say, that link is in the description. As well, I do have a merch store. Only 2 designs up at the moment. More are on the way, but that link is in the description as well. So, yeah, this will probably be the last time I talk to you guys before I see the movie. I'm okay. Yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. You'll probably be hearing from me on Saturday, so look out for that. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.